Eben Alexander III is an American neurosurgeon and the author of the book Proof of Heaven, A Neurosurgeon's Journey into the Afterlife, in which he describes his 2008 near-death experience and asserts that science can and will determine that heaven really does exist. Early life, family, and education. Alexander is the adopted descendant of a family of scholars, jurists, and physicians. He attended Phillips Exeter Academy, University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, and the Duke University School of Medicine. Alexander was an intern in general surgery at Duke University Medical Center, a resident at Duke, Newcastle General Hospital. He was a resident and research fellow at Brigham and Women's Hospital and Massachusetts General Hospital and is certified by the American Board of Neurological Surgery and the American College of Surgeons. Career, academic and clinical appointments. Alexander has taught at Duke University Medical Center, Brigham and Women's Hospital, Harvard Medical School, University of Massachusetts Medical School, and the University of Virginia Medical School. He has had hospital appointments at Brigham and Women's Hospital, Boston Children's Hospital, Dana-Farber Cancer Institute, Massachusetts General Hospital, University of Massachusetts Medical Center, and Lynchburg General Hospital Centra Health. He currently has been without surgical privileges since 2007. Professional activities. Alexander is a member of the American Medical Association and various other professional societies. He has been on the editorial boards of various journals. Proof of Heaven, Content. Alexander is the author of the 2012 autobiographical book Proof of Heaven, A Neurosurgeon unregistered trademark's journey into the afterlife, in which he asserts that his out-of-body and near-death experience while in a meningitis-induced coma in 2008 proves that consciousness is independent of the brain, that death is a transition, and that an eternity of perfect splendor awaits us beyond the grave, complete with angels, clouds, and departed relatives, but also including butterflies and a beautiful girl in peasant dress who Alexander finds out later was his departed sister. He further asserts that the current understanding of the mind now lies broken at our feet. For what happened to me destroyed it, and I intend to spend the rest of my life investigating the true nature of consciousness and making the fact that we are more, much more, than our physical brains as clear as I can, both to my fellow scientists and to people at large. Alexander's book was excerpted in a Newsweek magazine cover story in October 2012. Since the release of the book, he has lectured around the world in churches, hospitals, medical schools, and academic symposia, besides appearing on TV shows including Super Soul Sunday with Oprah Winfrey. As of September 21, 2014, Proof of Heaven has been on the New York Times bestseller list for 97 weeks. Criticism and reaction. In a wide-ranging investigation of Alexander's story and medical background, Esquire magazine reported that prior to the publication of Proof of Heaven, Alexander had been terminated or suspended from multiple hospital positions, and had been the subject of several malpractice lawsuits, including at least 2 involving the alteration of medical records to cover up a medical error. The magazine also found what it claimed were discrepancies with regard to Alexander's version of events in the book. Among the discrepancies, according to an account of the Esquire article in Forbes, was that Alexander writes that he slipped into the coma as a result of severe bacterial meningitis and had no higher brain activity, while a doctor who cared for him says the coma was medically induced and the patient was conscious, though hallucinating. Alexander issued a statement after the Esquire article's publication: "I wrote a truthful account of my experiences in Proof of Heaven and have acknowledged in the book both my professional and personal accomplishments and my setbacks. I stand by every word in this book and have made its message the purpose of my life." Esquire's cynical article distorts the facts of my 25-year career as a neurosurgeon and is a textbook example of how unsupported assertions and cherry-picked information can be assembled at the expense of the truth. Alexander's book has been criticized by scientists, including Sam Harris, a leader of the New Atheism movement, who described Alexander's NDE account as alarmingly unscientific, and that absolutely everything in Alexander's account rests on repeated assertions that his visions of heaven occurred while his cerebral cortex was shut down, inactivated, completely shut down, totally offline, and stunned to complete inactivity. The evidence he provides for this claim is not only inadequate, it suggests that he doesn't know anything about the relevant brain science. Even in cases where the brain is alleged to have shut down, its activity must return if the subject is to survive and describe the experience. In such cases, there is generally no way to establish that the NDE occurred while the brain was offline. Neurologist and writer Oliver Sacks agreed with Harris, saying that to deny the possibility of any natural explanation for an NDE, as Dr. Alexander does, is more than unscientific, it is anti-scientific. The one most plausible hypothesis in Dr. Alexander's case is that his NDE occurred not during his coma, but as he was surfacing from the coma and his cortex was returning to full function. It is curious that he does not allow this obvious and natural explanation, but instead insists on a supernatural one. In November 2012, Alexander responded to critics in a second Newsweek article. Critics have maintained that my near-death experience, like similar experiences others before me have claimed, was a brain-based delusion cobbled together by my synapses only after they had somehow recovered from the blistering week-long attack. I also experienced that transitional period, when my mind began to regain consciousness. I remember a vivid paranoid nightmare in which my wife and doctors were trying to kill me, and I was only saved from certain death by a ninja couple after being pushed from a 60-story cancer hospital in South Florida. But that period of disorientation and delusion had absolutely nothing to do with what happened to me before my cortex began to recover, the period, that is, when it was shut down and incapable of supporting consciousness at all. During that period, I experienced something very similar to what countless other people who have undergone near-death experiences have witnessed, the transition to a realm beyond the physical, and a vast broadening of my consciousness. The only real difference between my experience and those others is that my brain was, essentially, deader than theirs. The Map of Heaven, Alexander's second book, The Map of Heaven, How Science, Religion, and Ordinary People Are Proving the Afterlife, was published in October 2014. Alexander once again asserts his belief that there is an afterlife, and that consciousness is independent of the brain. To support his views, he cites the writings of philosophers, scientists, and religious leaders throughout history, and also shares letters from readers who have told him about spiritual experiences that match his own as described in Proof of Heaven. Excerpts from The Map of Heaven ran in UK newspaper The Daily Mail in October 2014. The Map of Heaven became a New York Times bestseller the week ending October 18, 2014. See also, 23 Minutes in Hell, 90 Minutes in Heaven, Heaven is for Real, Howard Storm, Pam Reynolds Case, The Boy Who Came Back from Heaven, References. External links, official website.